Okay, so I'm just going to go over a few of the controls and what to expect in Enscape. So after you've got Revit open, go up here to your Enscape tab, and you're going to want to click Start. Okay, so once you've got your Enscape open, go up here to the eyeball. And so first we're going to be under the main tab here. So for mode, this is just going to be, it tells you right here, but it's basically just going to be a whiteout. One of these is going to be the whiteout, and then these two I don't really use just because they get kind of funky. But this one is more of like a sketchy kind of white. So, and then these are your outlines. So this is going to be important for things like render or elevations and things that kind of blend together more that you really want to emphasize. So for camera, right now we're in orthographic. You're typically going to be in perspective view. So this is what's going to show up when you open Enscape. And then we don't really touch 2-point at all, but just orthographic and perspective. Exposure, you can mess with this. It usually just stays at 50%, but if for some reason your lights aren't working or you just would like it a little bit more bright in the rendering, you can just turn that up a little bit. Your field of view, this one I wouldn't mess with too much just because it can get a little bit distorted, but you can bring it in a little bit if there's stuff you don't want to see in your shot, or past 90 will kind of bring in some more of those things that you do want to see. And then depth of field, we don't really use. This is just basically your aperture settings. So the background would be more blurry, and then the focal point is in focus. And then if we go up here under image, this one, if you're really picky and you like to have your photos edited and everything, go ahead and mess with these. There's just gonna be your basic settings, and same with like Photoshop and stuff like that, which is also a good option too. You can also bring these into Photoshop. Atmosphere, we don't really touch fog, but illumination, we use ambient, which is just your general lighting, so everything in the space that's indoor. And then your artificial is just going to be your light fixtures. So ambient's going to be the outdoor light, your indoor light, and stuff that's kind of reflective. And then under sky, this one is kind of important depending on what you want your background to be. So your horizon, right now we're under just white ground. Typically white cubes is your best go-to for light source. Otherwise you can pick any of these. And then your clear and skybox we don't really use, but white cubes or white ground I would recommend, or just doing a white background as well. That also works if you're, especially for elevations, which I'll show you guys how to do later. And then clouds, we don't really use that much either. Output, if you really want to, you can set a default for how you want your images to be exported. So you could use PNG, JPEGs, and then these other two we don't really use that often. Let's see here. So that's it for that one, I think. So I'm going to show you guys how to do the sun brightness. So if you have a window over here and you want the sun to be coming through it, or you don't want it to be coming through there, go ahead and right click and press shift and just drag your mouse across your mouse pad. And this is just going to kind of rotate the sun, and you can just choose where you want that light to go. And nighttime's obviously a little funky, but morning and night are usually your best options, or middle of the day. All right, so that's it for that.